各位議員
Members, good afternoon. It's the appointed time of the House Committee. We have a quorum. I call the meeting to order. Item number 1, matters arising. The Chief Secretary was happy to learn that a number of Bills Committee have completed their work and made the report to the House Committee. The Chief Secretary thanked members for efficiently completed the scrutiny of the bills so that these important bills that are relevant to livelihood as well as economic development have the second reading debate resumed at their earliest. Policy bureaus will continue to support the work of Bills Committees. The CS also indicated that officials have carefully listened to members' views in the budget meeting last week. They will reply on the 30th of April. The CS asked members to support the Appropriation Bill 2025. 2. Legal Service Division reports on bills and subsidiary legislation. There are 3 bills referred to the House Committee in accordance with Rule 54(4) of the Rules of Procedure. 1. Statute Law Miscellaneous Provisions Bill 2025. Paper LS 40 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. Thank you. This is an omnibus bill to make miscellaneous amendments to various ordinances. There are 2 groups. The first are amendments arising from the systematic review of statutory laws of Hong Kong. There will be legal adaptations of a large number of provisions to make sure that they are in conformity with the basic law and with the status of Hong Kong as a SAR of the PRC. Say, for example, to change crown to government, to change governor with chief executive, and replace the Chinese text of Dailuk with Noide, which means mainland. The second group are amendments not arising from the review. They are amendments to the electricity supply regulations in relation to safety standards and to amend the Chinese names of animals countries under the protection of endangered species of animals and plants ordinance. Please refer to paragraphs 7 to 10. Well, this bill will expire. This bill will come into operation expiry of 30 days after the enacted ordinance is gazetted. The one in relation to the change of the name Macau, MACAO, is to come into effect on a date to be appointed by the Secretary. Well, the panel on administration of justice and legal services was consulted. No members has raised any issues. We are looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill. This bill seeks to amend a number of items of ordinances. Members may want to set up as Bills Committee. Who would like to set up a Bills Committee? Professor Priscilla Leung, Mr. Dennis Leung, and Ms. Maggie Chen. We will circulate a paper. 2. Gas Safety Amendment Bill 2025, payment number LS 41 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. This bill seeks to amend the Gas Safety Ordinance as well as relevant ordinances to establish a regulatory framework governing the importation, manufacture, storage, transport, supply, and use of hydrogen under the regulation. Well, it will add the definition of regulated hydrogen and that the CE in Council can make subsidiary legislation. The Gas Authority can issue improvement notice and make notifiable gas installation. The Dangerous Goods Ordinance will also be amended to clarify the respective scopes of items. Please refer to paragraphs 4 to 8. This will come into operation on a date to be appointed by the Secretary of Environment, Ecology and the Environment. The panel on environmental affairs was consulted in January. Members in general supported the proposal. We're looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill. The bill seeks to amend the ordinance to establish a regulatory framework for the use of hydrogen as a fuel. Members may consider forming a Bills Committee. Thank you. In relation to the bill, who would like to set up a Bills Committee? Mr. Gary Chen, Mr. Teng Ka-pio, as well as Mr. Chen Siu-hong, will circulate a paper. 3. Employment Amendment Bill 2025, paper number LS42 of 2025. This bill seeks to amend the Employment Ordinance to revise the continuous contract requirements. The threshold will be lowered from 18 hours to 68 hours, and it will also put in place an alternative criteria, that is working for 68 hours in total over 4 weeks to meet the requirement. Please refer to paragraphs 4 to 8. This will come into operation on the first Sunday, 6 weeks after the day when the enacted ordinance is gazetted. The panel on manpower was consulted in March. Members generally supported the proposal but expressed concerns. We have not identified any legal and drafting difficulties. The bill seeks to revise the continuous contract requirement, which is an important concept. Members may wish to set up a Bills Committee. Who would like to set up a Bills Committee? Please raise your hands. Mr. Shuka, Peter Shiu, Mr. Kwok Wai Kang, and Mr. Michael Luk. We have over 3 members. Please circulate a paper. Item B, subsidiary legislation. We will deal with one item of subsidiary legislation. Is the subsidiary legislation gazetted on the 11th of April 2025, LS43 of 2025. It covers one item. Legal advisor, please. This is LN55 to amend the tramway ordinance to amend the schedule to increase the fares. For those above the age of 12, it will be increased from $3 to $3.30. For children, from $1.50 to $1.60. Please refer to paragraph 1. In February this year, the panel on transport was consulted. Members in general supported the bill. This will come into operation on the 12th of May 2025. We have not identified legal or drafting difficulties. That's the report for LN55. Thank you. Members who would like to set up a subcommittee to follow up, if so, please raise your hands. If not, let me remind members. The deadline for making amendment is the council meeting on the 14th of May. Item 3, business for the council meeting of 30th of April 2025. Next week will be the 3rd budget meeting. There are only written questions. The other businesses are 2 first readings, namely Tobacco Control Legislation Amendment Bill 2025 and Trade Unions Amendment Bill 2025. The House Committee will handle these 2 bills in the meeting on the 2nd of May. There are 3 government bills for second reading. They are Appropriation Bill 2025. Officials will reply to members' comments expressed in a previous meeting. We'll continue with the 2nd and 3rd reading of the bill and put the bill to the vote. The second reading is the Electoral Legislation Miscellaneous Amendments Bill 2025. The House Committee has already noted the verbal report made. After that, we'll have the Inland Revenue Amendment Tax Concessions Bill 2025. The House Committee decided that there is no need to set up a Bills Committee for this bill. Apart from that, we also have Report Number 9 of 2025 of the House Committee on consideration of subsidiary legislation and other instrument. It will be laid on the table. There are 6 items of subsidiary legislation, the period for amendment of which will expire at the council meeting on that day. Item 5, business for the council meeting of the 7th of May 2025. Questions. The list of members who have been allotted a slot have been uploaded onto the website. B, government bill first reading and second reading. We have not received any notice. C, government bills second reading debate to resume consideration by committee of the whole council and third reading. There are 3. 1, protection of the harbour amendment bill 2024. 2, stamp duty amendment bill 2025. And 3, public health and municipal services amendment bill 2025. In a previous meeting, the House Committee noted the reports made by the Bills Committee. D, government motion. The Secretariat has not received any notice. E, members' motions. 1, from Mr. Ma Fung Kwok, a motion on staying firm and united to counter the tariff trade wars and strengthening Hong Kong's role as an international gateway. The second one from Mr. Michael Tian is a motion on actively dovetailing with national and global trends and studying the reform of the curriculum framework for primary and secondary schools. The wording of the 2 motions have already been uploaded. Members, if you would like to make amendments, the deadline for giving notice is the 28th of April, which is a Monday. 5, reports of bills committees and subcommittees. There are 3 committees making reports to us. The first is one from the Bills Committee on Stablecoins Bill. I now ask Mr. Duncan Chiu, the chairperson of the Bills Committee, to give us the report. Chairman, the bill seeks to establish a licensing regime for stablecoins issuers in Hong Kong. The regime defines regulators specified stablecoin as a stablecoin that purports to maintain a stable value with reference wholly to one or more official currencies, say for example Hong Kong dollars. The Bills Committee has held 6 meetings with the administration and has invited submission from the public. Members in general supported regulation of activities involving specified stablecoins to tackle potential risk to financial stability and to provide protection to users. The bill stipulates that a person actively marketing the issuance of specified stablecoin to the public of Hong Kong is regarded as holding out as carrying on a regulated stablecoin activity and has to be licensed by the Monetary Authority. In addition, one of the licensing criteria is that the chief executive, directors, controllers, and executive officers of the applicant are fit and proper. The committee has asked the administration to clarify the definition of actively market and fit and proper. The bill also stipulates that the reserve assets of specified stablecoins should be a pool of high quality and high liquid assets, so the reserve assets can be liquidated easily to meet the need for redemption. Members have asked what assets are accepted. The administration has replied to these questions and has stated that the Monetary Authority will elaborate on the definition of actively market, fit and proper, as well as its categories of accepted reserve assets in the guideline issued in the future. Members were of the view that, in addition to protecting stablecoin holders, the administration should promote the development of the relevant industries and endeavour to attract international sizable issuers to come to Hong Kong to apply for license to issue specified stablecoins. The administration proposes to move a number of amendments to improve the clarity of the provisions. The Bills Committee supports these amendments and will not move any. The Bills Committee has completed the scrutiny of the bill and noted the administration's plan to resume the second reading debate of the bill in the council meeting on the 21st of May. The Bills Committee does not oppose to it. The written report will follow. Or if there are no other views, we'll continue with the second report.
Report of the Bills Committee on Private Columbarium Amendment Bill 2024. Chair of the Bills Committee, Ms. Eunice Yong, will now deliver the verbal report. Chair, the Private Columbarium Amendment Bill 2024 seeks to amend the Private Columbarium Ordinance, Cap 630, to improve the existing regulatory regime on private columbarium and strengthen protection for consumers. The Bills Committee has held 3 meetings with the administration and invited written views from the public. The Bills Committee has received 8 submissions. The bill proposes to amend the eligibility criteria for exemption. An option will be provided to pre-cut off columbaria meeting the specified conditions, that is, private columbaria that have been in operation with ashes interred before the announcement of the licensing regime in 2014 to apply for the exemption, so as to allow them to operate on the existing scale and avert the need for large-scale ash disposal should they fail to be licensed. Some members are of the view that the amendment is unfair to columbaria, the license applications of which have been approved, rejected, or withdrawn voluntarily, as well as those which have ceased operation. Members have suggested that the administration proactively reaches out to the operators to clear up misunderstandings and explore feasible options. For example, an option to exempt the licensed or non-exempted columbaria from applying for exemption, reconsideration of rezoning applications previously rejected by the Town Planning Board due to changes in land policy, etc., to ensure that a level playing field for the trade can be provided and also to protect the citizens' rights. Members have also expressed concerns that only 13 licenses and 5 exemptions have been granted, despite the law being enforced for more than 7 years. Some members have opined that according to the trade, the application procedures are cumbersome and different departments have various requests for applicants at different stages. Members believe the columbarians' licenses and exemptions provide a safeguard for the public. The administration should enhance the vetting arrangements. For example, the existing one-stop service should be enhanced to coordinate the departments and assist the applicants with following up on the requests. Applications for regularizing these condition breaches should be dealt with in parallel to shorten the vetting time. Regarding the proposed penalties to offences in the bill, there are views that the penalties are not proportionate to the nature and severity of the offences. In drawing up the penalties, the administration should ensure that there is sufficient deterrence, as well as whether the penalties are consistent and whether they will have an adverse impact on the trade. The administration should also review the manpower arrangements and step up inspection and enforcement to protect the public's rights. The administration has noted the members' concerns. They have also explained the bill to the operators again in detail. On the suggestion of the legal advisor, the administration will move a number of technical amendments to the bill. The Bills Committee has no objection to these amendments, nor will it move any amendment. The Bills Committee has completed its deliberations on the bill. It does not object to the resumption of the second reading of the bill at the Council meeting of the 21st of May. A written report will be submitted in due course. Thank you, Ms. Yong. Now, members, if there are no other views, the resumption of the second reading debate of the 2 bills mentioned above will take place at the Council meeting of the 21st of May. The deadline for giving notice is the 12th of May, if members would like to move any amendment. Next, report of the Bills Committee on Inland Revenue Amendment Minimum Tax for Multinational Enterprise Groups Bill 2024. Mr. Ronnie Chan, Chair of the Bills Committee, will now deliver the report. Madam Chair, the bill seeks to implement the 15% global minimum tax on in-scope multinational enterprise groups, or M&E groups, in accordance with the Global Tax Reform Framework on Base Erosion and Profit Shifting promulgated by the OECD, as well as to introduce the Hong Kong Minimum Top-Up Tax, or Hong Kong MTT. The Bills Committee has held 2 meetings and invited written submissions from the public. Members in general support the bill, which helps fulfill Hong Kong's international obligation to tackle cross-border tax evasion and safeguard our taxing rights. Concerned with the impact of the global minimum tax and the Hong Kong MTT on tax revenue and tax competitiveness in Hong Kong, members have asked the administration to explain the basis on which the administration expects an additional revenue of about $15 billion per year from 2027 and 28 onwards. Members have also inquired about the strategies to publicize Hong Kong's tax advantages so as to attract more enterprises to set up presence in Hong Kong. According to the administration, the above additional tax revenue is the Inland Revenue Department's rough estimate based on the 15% global minimum tax rate on country-by-country reporting information submitted by the M&E groups. As for tax competitiveness, along with other jurisdictions, when Hong Kong implements the global minimum tax, it must incorporate the global anti-base erosion rules or GLOBE rules into the Inland Revenue Ordinance as required by the OECD. In addition, Hong Kong will continue to have no tax on offshore income and no dividends tax or capital gains tax. Therefore, Hong Kong's continued simple and low tax regime remains a competitive advantage over other jurisdictions. In addition, jurisdictions that used to compete for business and enterprises with low or zero tax rates will no longer be able to use tax policies as an incentive. Hong Kong's unique advantage of one country, two systems, together with robust infrastructure, a hub for talents, and its status as an international financial center, will further sharpen its competitive edge. The Bills Committee has also deliberated on matters such as the taxation mechanism, proposed new offences, and commencement date. The administration will move amendments to the bill in light of the views and suggestions from members and deputations, as well as the administrative guidelines promulgated by the OECD after the Bills Gazetted. The Bills Committee has no objection to these amendments. It will not propose any amendment. The Bills Committee has completed the scrutiny of the bill. It does not object to the resumption of the second reading of the bill at the Council meeting of the 28th of May. A written report will be submitted. So much from me. Thank you, Mr. Monique Chan. Members, if there are no further views, the resumption of the second reading debate of the above bill will take place at the Council meeting of the 28th of May. If you want to move any amendment, please give notice by the 19th of May, Monday. Item 6, position on bills, committees and subcommittees. As of the 24th of April, there are 15 bills committees in action and also 8 subcommittees under the House Committee, as well as 3 subcommittees under panels on policy issues in action. On the waiting list, there are 4 subcommittees on policy issues. Item 7, any other business? There being no other business today, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.